future is for the way women think.
The way women think.
That's correct.
Is that not a sop because of all the depravity you've done against young women? And your new sop is that their women's thinking is the future?
No, I've always believed that women would be able to take over. I'm a firm believer and supporter of Time's Up. The greatest threat to people put in solitary confinement is they try to kill themselves. Imagine that. You're only in a room for 24 hours, you start to go crazy.
Now, I don't know if you've seen that before, but that is a trailer for a movie that Steve Bannon claimed he was making, obviously with Jeffrey Epstein. You can see him interviewing him there, titled The Monsters, Epstein's Life Among the Global Elite. So it's The Monsters, but to be clear, he's not the monster. He's just talking about the monsters, which is strange. But anyway, as years have passed since the trailer was originally released, people are starting to wonder if he was actually making this movie to profile these monsters, or if there was some other motivation that Steve Bannon was actually operating under. Bannon apparently recorded over 15 hours of interview footage with Jeffrey Epstein for that. That is an incredible amount of time sitting down and talking with this guy. And the video was recorded in the months leading up to Epstein's arrest in July 2019. So this is as there's more and more pressure for something to be done, for there to be an indictment. More details are coming out about the allegations against them. Obviously, there had been stories about this for years at this point, but this was during the critical period where things are really heating up. And as I said, Bannon said it was for The Monsters, Epstein's Life Among the Global Elite. The movie never actually came out, and those who reportedly knew about the footage found the claim dubious, that this is what it was designed to be for. Another explanation given was that Bannon was helping Epstein improve his public image as allegations of sex trafficking became louder and louder. Obviously, we would need to see much more of the footage, especially how it was being edited, to know what the motivation was. But it is interesting that, like, considering where the Republican Party would end up going in talking about this stuff, and we're probably a year or two into QAnon and all of this hyper focus on sexualization of kids and the conspiracy theories about Waymo and Etsy and all that, that if the design was, I'm going to help you get out in front of this, then I think that would be pretty damning. And you might wonder, well, why would he do that? Now, obviously, they're both wealthy people, but if Epstein does actually have information about other monsters in the global elite, and if some of them might be people that Steve Bannon maybe theoretically knows, then if you could help him save his image and evade accountability, then maybe those names never come out. We're very much in the territory of total speculation here, and we might very well never know what the footage was designed to do. But it's interesting at the very least.
It's definitely fascinating. I don't know. I've been around this floor for a while. I've heard people on various shows say stuff like this about other things, but I will apply how I've seen, ladies and gentlemen, how conservatives respond to stories for you as I apply it to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, this is how they would do it. Listen, I'm waiting for all this kind of information to come in. I don't know what happened, what's on what Epstein's island. I know it's sick, I know it's depraved, I know it's murderous, I know these poor girls had to go through stuff, but I don't know whether Jeff Bannon attended these events. But that said, there's something in my gut that tells me there's more to it. There's more to it. And what I'm just seeing these photos of Donald Trump hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm seeing manifests. I don't read the articles, but I know that the headlines say Donald Trump and there's a manifest in Jeffrey Epstein's island. I know there's a bunch of sick, depraved stuff that these elitists are doing on those islands. And I know that Bannon and Trump are very close. I think it's very probable / possible, maybe not probable, but possible, probably possible, that Jeffrey Epstein, Steve Bannon, Donald Trump, global cabal having sex with each other and children at the same time on buffaloes, winged steeds. It's horrible. Back to you. That's what it's like walking around here, by the way. If you just hear half of like an iHeartRadio podcast, it is so horrible.
Well, I like iHeartRadio. I don't necessarily like.
I'm sorry. It's that there's an iHeartRadio spinning thing, and that's a location where everybody comes in and
totally, and they have our own shows in there. Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned on the show yesterday that I was just walking past and I heard Charlie Kirk say that last Saturday was your 9/11. I don't know who he was talking to, and then the person that was on the panel with him said that's incredibly profound, and I just thought, I don't know the context.
It's not.
I don't think it was.
That's they're just, and then like there's people that I'll hear all day they'll get done with their show and come and code switch to talking lib to me. So to speak.
And look, partially it's because it is easy to turn it off if it's an act.
Yeah.
If you're not really saying what you believe, then you can be totally nice. And also, by the way, one of the things that's always bothered me about, you have people who go off and do their content and say wicked, insane, radical things and attack people and demonize people, but they can have nice conversations with you and they can agree a little bit. You know why they can do that? Because it doesn't really matter. Like saying we need to talk more, we need to debate more, and we just need to, you know what that does?
It's BS.
It theoretically continues the status quo that they're comfortable with.
Well, then
there's no urgency to change things when you're winning right now.
But then, and maybe I've done it here, I don't know, but like then they'll go off. Like when Charlie Kirk was here, his guy was saying we gotta go. And I said, and he was like 3 minutes to me, and I turned around and I started a clock and I said 3 minutes. And Charlie Kirk's sitting here, it's like, oh, it seems like you want us to wrap. And I literally just turned around and go, Charlie, you wanted the 3 minutes. You've got the heart out.
It wasn't us.
It wasn't us. You wanted the 3 minutes.
It's a small thing.
And he's gonna go and get like a little soundbite from here and use it cynically. I'm sure of it. He's gonna do it.
I don't know that they agree.
But he's saying stuff like you're not a real man if you vote for Joe Biden. It's like, what are you talking about?
Well, no, but that's the thing. He wasn't saying that here.
He wasn't saying that here.
He
comes here and he steps back.
It was,
and they go to their audience and they just do. They just
the conversation. Yeah.
Anyways, it's chumpy. Well, and it's so great though, dude. He looks, I love it.
Depends on the environment.
I love when they're like, these are our alpha dogs, and they're just shuddy puddles.
Okay. I want to turn back to this. Okay, so, or actually, do we have time? We have 5 minutes.
Yeah, do it.
He's saying we only have 3 minutes and we have to go. I want to make sure that we get to our last story, actually. And look, we could go into the established ties between Bannon and Epstein. They were friends back in 2017 or whatever. We're talking about maintaining a relationship with a person over the course of literally years as more and more terrible stuff is coming out about them. And so I don't know if it was just intended to be a documentary or if it was supposed to be a rehabilitation tour or whatever. But I think I would get uncomfortable with the person that I've known as more and more of this horrendous stuff is coming out. It didn't seem to bother him. And he is one of the literal he's one of the avatars of this movement, with sexualization of children and sex slavery and sex trafficking being one of its like core components. You'd think he would have been a little bit uncomfortable. In the same way that you might have expected that Donald Trump wouldn't have said of Ghislaine Maxwell, I wish her the best or whatever. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.